Yes, we do. And we are live in power. I would like to say Hotep or Shalom or Assalamu Alaikum to all of the sisters and brothers who are watching the show. I like to greet people wherever they are. Oh, someone needs to meet Hotep or Shalom or Assalamu Alaikum. That was my feedback. I'm sorry. So anyway, I would like to greet everybody wherever they are. You know, we have a lot of Muslim brothers, people from the Kemetic community. We have sisters that are Hebrews watching us. We have Afrocentric sisters watching us. So I like to meet everybody wherever they are. Welcome to Tea Talk with the Sisters. I'm your girl, Dr. Oyamaya, and we have with us a special guest for a special topic. But before we get into the topic of today, I would like to give dua, praise to the ancestors. All praises to the ancestors, for we are our ancestors. If it were not for them, there would be no us. So I ask right now that our ancestors grant us the knowledge and wisdom of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. I ask that they give us the warrior spirit of Yah Satiwa, Queen Nzinga, and Harriet Tubman. And I also ask that our ancestors bless us with the hunger for truth, justice, balance, and reciprocity. Mayat. So again, I am your girl, Dr. Oya Mayat, and I want the panel to introduce themselves before we get into today's topic.
Yes, peace and love, everyone. This is your sister, Raziki Zafira, and hey, Ma, again. All right, so now also we are shouting out our ancestors. I have to give a big, big shout out to my grandmother, Martha Jenkins. She is currently, she's returned home, and today is her birthday. So happy birthday, Grandma. Love you so much. So, again, I'm Raziki Zafira, and I am an astrologer and also a workshop facilitator. Again, I do teach astrology as well as Tantra. I will be starting my classes in the spring of next year, and I'm thoroughly honored and privileged to introduce our guest today. I love her energy. We actually met at the Sacred Sexuality Retreat, where, I was a presenter. She was selling some of her products, and one product she had was called Sweet Yoni Tea. So I was like, please do tell me more about this. And you'll definitely hear all about it. But I first want to introduce Miss Tracy R. Bryant Swint. She is a sensual empowerment coach, certified Yoni Steam practitioner, feminine health and wellness educator, and womb advocate. She received her training and certification from the Yoni Steam Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. And she's gained her tools and knowledge on how to heal her own womb from soul and generational trauma, and it changed her life forever. She also has a bachelor's degree from McNeese State University in sociology and human sexuality, and she also has a license in social work. She's a certified natural health and wellness consultant and received her certification from a Life of Peace Institute. So it definitely allowed her to understand how important nutrition is in the role of healing from the inside out and using herbs and foods as a natural medicine. She loves all feminine things and sensual, and, just a strong belief that feminine wellness and creativity resides in healing and balance of so there's a lot of things she chose to incorporate, with her wellness as a spiritual path due to her personal experience with, her childhood. And she'll definitely, get more into that. I mean, like, this is long, sis. Wow. Rape, crisis, domestic violence. Like, I need to sip some water. My throat getting dry.
Short one.
I didn't know where to start. I mean, if you just want to summarize for the people, sis, this is a lot going on. Congratulations.
Definitely. And I just want to say congratulations to the Sister Tracy. Is honored to have her on the show. And from the bio, she is more than qualified. I just want to stress that to the brothers and sisters in the building. This sister is more than qualified to teach on healing the womb. And so that is the topic of today. We asked Sister Raziki and I, and she's a Tantra specialist. We talked about the womb, a few days ago. And she said, you know what? A lot of women, she said, our wombs are broken and we just don't know it. And she sent me a clip. Oh my goodness, Sister Tracy, it was hilarious. She sent me a clip. What was the name of the show, sis?
A lot of people got to be familiar with it. It's called Insecure by Issa Rae. And I love this sister's creativity. Like, she started her series Awkward Black Girl on YouTube, and she writes, produces her own stuff. And I encourage a lot of women and men to watch this show, because like me and my best friend, who everybody knows, Kia, who's normally on the show, like it was like we could see us in these situations saying these things. So it's real realistic. But the premise of the show was that she has a friend who just makes crazy decisions or just does crazy things when dealing with dating and sex and men. And it also, you know, a broken vagina leads to other things too. So we're going to play that clip. And this was just so inspiring. I'm like, yeah, we need to talk about these broken vaginas that exist out in the world. So
yeah, do you have the clip, sis?
Sis,
do you have the?
She said, "Take it away."
I can look it up.
Okay. And while you look it up, I'm gonna get a little bit more into the topic before you play that clip, and then I want Sister Tracy to go ahead and you to break down the anatomy of the womb, and then you and Sister Tracy to rock out. So anyway, we're going to be talking about the womb today. A lot of us have vaginal issue. A lot of women don't even know what they have between their legs. And I'm not saying that arrogantly. I'm saying that with concern. So a lot of our daughters, even mothers, aunties, grandmoms, we carry this womb around, and many of us don't know. I mean, we know that we can give birth. All women know that, but we really don't understand the inner workings of the womb. Why do women discharge? Why do we have, or some of us have, odors? Why do we menstruate? Why is vaginosis and urinary tract infections becoming prominent amongst women? We don't really understand those things. And if you don't understand those things, how can you properly take care and protect this womb that you know hardly anything about? Women know the basics. Okay, I come on my period, once a month. Some women come on twice a month, depending on if they're on a 14-day or 21-day cycle. But, in general, we come on our periods once a month. We know that we, use the bathroom. We know that we produce, children, or children come from our womb. We use it to have sex, but we really don't understand the inner workings of the womb. So I'm really looking to this conversation today. Sister Raziki, did you find the clip?
I do. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are. Okay. So I wanna put a disclaimer out. This definitely is raunchy a little bit. But when I heard the song, I couldn't do anything but laugh, because these are things that are real and it exists in our society. So let me go ahead and play this clip again. Mom, don't be mad. Okay, just visiting Mom Duke. So all right, here we go.
Hey, that's your girl. Like, that's your girl, right? What's up? Love Rookie. She give them all the cookies, but cookies on me pussy. This girl is kind of loosey. Dudes take her off the shelf and they put her on credit. 30 days later, they return it and regret it. Use like a dish rag. Don't get a hashtag. I blame it on the pussy. That shit must be bad. Broken pussy. Broken pussy. Maybe it really smells broken pussy. Maybe it's really rough. Maybe it's had enough broken pussy. Nobody wants you because you got a broken pussy. Nobody wants you because you got a broken pussy. Broken pussy. Broken pussy. Maybe it's really rough. Maybe it's had enough broken pussy.
Okay, so now y'all get the premise of it. Okay, y'all understand the premise of the video.
Hold up. I gotta unmute Sister Tracy mic, because when she laughed, we heard her and we couldn't hear the video. But now I don't even know how to unmute it.
Okay.
I'm going. Hold on, Sister Tracy. Don't get me.
I know.
Sister,
I had to
mute your mic for me, Sister Tracy. Unmute your mic for me. I think she can do it. I can't do it.
Can you unmute your mic, Tracy?
I think I did.
There it is.
Okay.
Cool.
Girl, you gonna have me in here singing Broken Pussy.
I'm just saying. I mean, it was real. Maybe I had enough. You know.
But wait, I'm gonna have to shift that, and I'm gonna have to shift that whole thing, and then I'm gonna have to sing "Heal That Pussy."
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You gotta heal it, and so this is why we're here. So again, the premise of that song was again just this woman who's been through the dating game, and she's had sex with a lot of men, and then after a certain time, you're just not making great decisions. And she was talking about the smells. We all understand with the BV and the yeast infections. And I mean, so this song like pretty much wrapped up what a broken vagina. And if it's broken, you do get chronic illnesses and you make wrong decisions. And there's certain imprints that's left there that affects you as a human being. And we'll definitely get into that. But, again, when I saw that, I was rolling. It was hilarious because, at some point or another, all of us had some kind of break in our vaginas at one point. So let's just keep it real about it. And we're going to talk about how to make it better. Right, guys? Right, ladies? Excuse me.
No doubt, no doubt. So you're going to get into the anatomy of the womb? Because I think that's important. You ask a lot of women, what's between your legs? Do you even understand the parts of your vagina? What are the parts? Can you name them? Okay, I have a uterus, maybe a hole in a clitoris, but I'm talking about other parts of the vagina that you don't see or, can't feel. Absolutely. So what are those parts, the functions of those parts?
I'm going to share this. And Sis Tracy, if you want to jump in, you definitely can, especially on this chart. Like, as far as, from my perspective, dealing with energy healing and everything. And again, my whole thing is like, just so people can understand the importance of it. Why you need to make sure like everything is in alignment and everything is healthy, because this here is what I have as a genital reflexology map. So when I go over the fact that, okay, there's certain parts of a woman's vagina that, correlates with other, organs in the body. And if you understand what reflexology is, it's just like when the doctor used to take that thing and hit your knee with it, and then your reflex was what? Your leg jumping up, right? So it's the same kind of thing. There's certain parts on our body, when it's affected, it will cause a reflex to something else that exists. So here in the genital reflexology map, you have the vaginal opening and then the penis. So there's a very true reality in being a mismatch of a man's and woman's genitalia. Okay. Another thing is, again, the beginning of it affects the kidneys. This section here would be the liver. As you can see, the spleen and pancreas, and the heart and the lungs. So believe it or not, there's a lot of women who are not able to experience a pleasurable experience during intercourse. Some women over 40 I've met never even experienced like an orgasm. And there's certain blockages going on. There's certain unhealthy things going on, whether it be physically or energetically, that is blocking, a woman from experiencing the fullness of her womb in all. And again,
Hold up, Sister Riziki, not to disrupt you, but I just have a question on your diagram. So in the vaginal opening, you're saying that there are like points in the vaginal.
Yes,
pressure points that if a man taps into those pressure points, that he can affect those parts that you have labeled on your diagram.
Exactly. Yes. And before, when we were talking about in another show, activation, right? We were talking about lingam activations, G-spot activations, stuff like that. This is what we're referring to. There, all of this is a pressure point. You enter in a woman's vagina, even with your finger, like in Tantra and in our Grand Trine system, we are taught on, well, the men are taught on, both men and women, vaginal activations. We understand that you can project energy into certain parts of a woman's vagina to bring it online. Okay. And wow. With a man, you can do this with your finger, but guess what? Also, this is why, Tantra was created, because a man can energetically project from his lingam into the yoni. So when you guys are interacting in intercourse, you're also healing each other. because you can see these line up. You got kidneys, liver. You see it, right? It lines up.
Right.
So again, this is what we're talking about. And even when you're dealing with.
Go ahead, sis.
I'm sorry. Someone else had to say something.
No. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. So again, even dealing on the energetic portion, when you're in these positions, your chakras are lining up. Your crown, your pineal, your throat, your heart, your solar, your sacral, and your root. And when you start to understand how Kundalini energy flows, and why a lot of couples nowadays are wondering about, manifestation through sex with your partner, visualizing things, because it's all energy. And again, a part of having a healthy womb also contributes to your ability to manifest. And this is, I know, something that Tracy also deals with, womb manifestation. This is how, quote unquote, sex magic or sex manifestation is more likely to happen, when most of these genital areas are activated. And again, it's not all about just feeling good. It's like you're also creating something. So that's what I have for my energy. I wanted to elaborate on anything, or if you have anything to share, but.
No, I wanted you to break down the actual parts of the vagina. So can you go back to that diagram? And that's what I was saying earlier, that a lot of women don't even know they don't know the parts of a vagina. So if you could put up that diagram and go through each part. Okay, so your clitoris is here, your opening is here, your vulva is here, and really break down the functions of these different parts.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to add to that most women don't even. Well, first off, we don't have a relationship, nor are we connected to our vagina in our womb center. Like how you opened it up, Dr. Oya, when you said, there's only certain reasons why we even know it's there. And we've been taught, as far as in having a connection, only really 4 things. And that is when she's on her menstruation, when you have to, of course, use the restroom, having sex, and childbirth. Also, she's in pain. So those are really the only reasons we have been taught, unfortunately, to have a connection with her. And it's so much more than that. Yes, I want to first start off by saying that the womb and the vaginal canal is like the runway. The womb is the portal. Okay, as women, we stand between the physical world,
yes, we do,
spiritual world. Okay, so not having sexual pleasure or not having sexual desire and being blocked in that area of that sacral chakra and that root chakra, being blocked in that area, you're being blocked on so many levels of manifestation.
Yeah,
sexually and pleasurably. But you're being blocked on levels of your creative ability. As women, we are fertile by nature. And I'm not just talking about babies. I'm talking about on every level. We are fertile. Because we are the creative source of creation, because of the womb, the portal, we have the ability, whatever we touch multiplies.
Mm-hmm.
What we have to get back to. So I ask many of the women who are listening here today, have you taken a mirror and you looked at your vagina? Have you opened the labia and the vulva and really identified with her? Do you know how she looks? Do you know that you have a mole down there? Or do you know that you might just have one gray hair? Things of this nature. How have you really associated and connect with your most intimate vessel that you walk around with every single day? So I would definitely suggest and tell you, sisters, look at her. Begin having a relationship with her. You have your clitoris, you have your vulva, you have your labia, then you have your opening, okay? You insert.
Let me put this diagram back up.
You put up a diagram.
Okay.
Cause she going. I love it. I love it, Sister Tracy. Why she put
Thank you.
diagram. Oh, she already got it up. I was gonna keep on talking, but go ahead, sis. Go ahead, break it down.
So we got the labia minus and labia majus.
Right, and the labia and the vulva are really for protection. They are basically to protect the opening, protect the areas of where you have, entry, where anything can enter. So those are basically protection, but they also help in creating your juicy flow, creating your flora. And flora is that discharge that we get lots of times that we was discussing earlier, Dr. Maya, about discharge. Flora is that discharge that we get lots of times. And what that is, that's basically oil of the vagina. It is necessary because in the flora is where all the good bacteria is. Okay, so that's when you know that your vagina is healthy. When you have some lubrication and some greasiness and a little white here and there, you have a healthy vagina. That's minus the odor, and we're gonna get to that. Okay, so when you're dealing with the vagina, you also have the entry of the vagina. So let's go ahead and put that diagram up and see what that says.
We have it up. We have it up, sis. While you talking?
Okay, I can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see. So then you have the entry of the vagina. Now inside the vagina, and this is what a lot of people don't know. That's on this. I have a keep it tight Punani pamper class that I have. And what that does, I teach women how to tighten dexterity, strength, as well as suppleness area. Now, in the vagina, you have 6 muscles. Most people don't know that. You only think you got one big muscle, okay? Now, I'm going to give it to you. You have 6 muscles. You have the muscle that's in the opening, right there at the opening area here. The
right here. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think I gotta, I think this may be it, sis. Let me, okay. I'm trying to find the image of the muscles in the vagina. Oh, this is interesting.
So you have the opening. Then you have complementary to that one, you have the one up there by the cervix. Okay? So you have those two on top of one another, and then you have the vaginal shaft. Now with the vaginal shaft, you have one to the left, one to the right, one on top, and one at the bottom. So what we do is we learn how to isolate some of those muscles. Yes.
Wow.
And when you begin to isolate them and do different exercises, you will become more toned, more tightened. You will have strength, but you also will be able to control orgasmic sensations as well as pleasure your king more, because he likes you to be able to manipulate the vaginal walls while he's inside you.
Now, question.
It's a great diagram.
Yes, because, because I see, now, forgive the pronunciation, but the ischiocavernosus muscle, the bulbal, I'm not going to, but clearly I see the muscles. And it's interesting you say that, because one of the things that we learn in Grand Trine is about the Venus grip. And he talks about the ability to, contract, the muscle that may be at the bottom without contracting the one at the top. You know what I mean? It's
isolating the muscles.
There you go. Isolating the muscles. Wow. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So we need to know these things. I believe we all should have a name for our punanis. Mine is Shu. We all should have a name, a very sweet name for her, so that we can start identifying with her with sweetness and kindness. We should really feel good about her. We've been taught in this society that she's smelly, okay? You don't want to touch her, so don't give yourself self-pleasure at all. You know, so with this whole smelly and ugly and dirty and nasty and shameful and guilty, they've made us dislike the very essential part of who we are as females and feminine energy.
Now let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. I'm just looking at some of the comments. So the one question is your thoughts on yoni eggs, and another question is, as far as Kegels, okay, are Kegels the same thing as learning how to isolate the different muscles in the vagina? Is there a difference? Because I want to be clear.
Okay. Yes, there is a difference.
Right,
now,
exactly.
First off, I like to call them vaginal exercises. And there was a white man named Kegel. His last name was Kegel. It's Ernesto Kegel something. And he went in and claimed these are body parts as his own. First of all, we're going to cut that bullshit right now. These white men claiming who we are. It's bad enough they done stole everything else. Now they want to take the woman's assets too. No, we not going to say Kegel. We're going to call it vaginal exercises.
Got you. All right. Got you.
Is there a difference? Yes, there is. Now, and I'm going to say, because when you learn about the so-called Kegel exercises, you're not necessarily learning isolation. You're just learning how to tighten, how to hold a grip. You know what I'm saying? How to put a weight in and just keep that up in there and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold. Now, when you're dealing with a yoni egg, okay, there's a big difference because, see, we've been taught Benway balls. That was the first thing we was taught, these little metal things, put them inside our vagina, and we're supposed to tighten and do these muscle, you know, these exercises. First of all, I don't balls, and I'm going to say why, because they're metal. And I personally don't think metal should be up in your vagina. I mean, just healthily speaking, I don't think metal should be up in there, right? Let alone they be putting them damn duck lips when you go to the OBGYN. So we trying to get the metal up out the vagina, okay? So yoni eggs, I do prefer yoni eggs. I do use them. I do promote them. And I also, now yoni eggs are gemstones. They should be hand carved, okay? And they should come from a reputable distributor, all right? Now these gemstones, they have different properties depending on the ones that you choose. So if you're going to choose a yoni egg to insert inside your vagina so that you can do vaginal exercises and yoni breathing, which is a whole different type of exercise for our yonis, that is much healthier because it actually brings oxygen to the womb area and the vagina, the crystal energy of the gemstone from the yoni egg. Now, the yoni egg should be hand carved. It is a gemstone. Like I said, it has different properties. So depending on what it is you are working on, is you want to heal, what it is you even want to release from your life, such as amethyst deals with psychic intuition, addictions, spiritual communications. So, you know, if you're dealing with some addictions, you might want to deal with amethyst, okay? Rose quartz, love stone, peace, love, sensuality, forgiveness. You're dealing with some issues of forgiveness, maybe need to be more sensual, need some more love, attract some more love in your life, need to be more loving. Quartz, cornelian. You have creativity, manifestation. Oh, you have being able to really activate and get focused with your cornelian egg. And then you have jade. Jade is an abundant stone, dealing with prosperity and money and getting you in tuned and aligned to being more prosperous, also grounding. So these are the different things that you want to look for when you're choosing a stone. Now, right now, womb health is on a rise, which is awesome because the divine feminine has definitely made its way in. Yoni health is becoming a fad, though. Okay, now you heard me say womb health, but then yoni health. Yoni health is becoming a fad. So you got these sisters who are, oh, yoni eggs. Okay, I'm gonna start selling them. I got somebody. Oh, yoni pearls. Oh, I'm gonna put this. Oh, I'm gonna get these detox pearls. Oh, yoni steaming. And that's
just like consciousness, Sister Tracy. Just like consciousness, people are commercializing consciousness. I totally agree with Sister Zaza Ali in that. People are making a living off of, being conscious or disseminating, information. But go ahead, sis. I'm listening.
Right. So, it's this fad going on. So people are getting into it and they don't have proper knowledge. They don't have a proper mentor, and they're not getting the information, the education that they need to even promote this type of healing. This is serious business when you're dealing with the portal. When you're dealing with the portal of the womb in any area, you are dealing with the vibration of humanity. This ain't no joke.
Right.
And that's why I'm into this work. And I ask the ancestors and the petition the ancestors and my spirit guides every day to keep me solid, keep me focused, and to work through me, because this work of working with the womb means that they're trusting in me to work with the portal of creation. You give me this assignment of all assignments, I got this one. So I get really offended when sisters come along and they don't have a shit together in this work. Because we're raising the vibration of humanity when we healing a womb. And when you raise the vibration, you heal a nation. This ain't no joke. This ain't no punk.
Right. Dang, I love it.
You see, Sister Tracy, that's why I constantly stress to the sisters that we have to protect our womb. I'm like, do you really understand that it's kind of like, when I think of the womb, like you say, we're the portal, like we're the gatekeepers of this reality. So nothing in this world exists as a human being unless it comes through the great womb. You know what I mean? So we're carrying around with those eggs in our ovaries. We're carrying around life potential. And see, men need to understand, and they're carrying life potentials. And in the womb, that's when you take potentiality and you make potentiality in actuality. So I'm like, sisters really need to understand what we have, like what the womb is. It's one doctor called it the greatest show on earth. A lot of stuff goes on in the womb. You know what I mean? You see the genetic, the mental and physical development of a child. That is powerful. And so as women, we have to understand that we must protect our womb and that it is vital for our wombs to be healthy. Now let me ask you a question, Sister Tracy. I know that prior to going live, you had shared with us that you had a conversation with Dr. Delbert Blair. Peace be upon his soul. The brother just transitioned, I think, a few years ago, I believe. But
it was actually last year. Was it this year, baby? It was last year. Or this year, early this year. It was earlier this year.
Early this year. So the brother
almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago. So I know that you said you had a conversation with him about menstruation. And a lot of brothers say that it's unhealthy for a woman to menstruate. And so I ask you, is it natural to menstruate, or do we control that based on what we eat or our exercise or lack thereof? Like, can we control how heavy our periods are, or if we get them? Or if, menstruate, is something going on with your body? Can you really break down that for me, sis?
Okay, well, first I got to say rest in peace, Dr. Delbert Blair, because me and him have went round and round on this piece right here. And he was a firm believer that menstruation for a woman was not healthy, and I didn't agree with that. Because I know that all of us, even in indigenous societies, years and ancients have menstruated. Now, can we control our level of menstruation? Yes. Can we control the pain that comes with it? Yes. Can we control the days and even the time? Yes. And it is a science to that. So it goes back to what he explained was, to prove his point, was that the runners and the dancers, that they didn't have menstruations. They may have a month and it's very, very light. So very light spotty. Go back and say, well, Dr. Sister Deborah Blair. They didn't come here to procreate. And dancers, you have to have fat on your body in order to procreate. That's how we've been designed. We got to have fat around them hips. We got to have fat booties. We got to have some tummy. You know, all that area has to have some cushion going on. And because of that development, when you have more fat on you and you're meant to procreate, you will have a menstruation naturally, because that's who we are as women, as co-creators. Now, these heavy menstruations, that is unhealthy. Okay? These irregular menstruations, that are very unhealthy. PMS, yes, a part of the unhealthiness. Now, we have to make peace with our periods, though. We really do. Because menstruation is a time when we are supposed to internalize. We're supposed to sit down. We're supposed to lay it down. We're supposed to rest. We're supposed to listen to our intuition, our goddess self, talk to our ancestors, our spirit guides. That's the time when we're supposed to go in. It's a woman's hibernation time, once a month. That right there is very sacred. Where our higher power, the goddess and the god, will say, okay, woman, now you must sit down because I have to deal with you. That right there is phenomenal. And it's a time when you will shed blood, because we need to procreate. Not just procreate on the physical level, like I keep saying. We are procreators on every level there is. Woman, the feminine energy, that's what it does. It procreates and multiplies. Now, a lot of times while we have the cramping like we do, is because of our diets. Most of the times it's diet, and also, sis, and many of you might not want to hear this, it has to do with womb trauma. It's crying. She's crying during that time.
Yeah. And then also too, sis, I was, because sometimes when women menstruate, they see these clots, and it's like, if you have a harder time shedding that lining out, you know what I mean? Your body has to work extra hard to push that stuff out. And, it can be really painful. But yeah, I definitely want to, if you don't mind going in a little bit about like ancestral trauma.
Hold up, sis, because I wanted her. It was one more question I had on menstruation before we go to the next question.
Sure.
Okay. So, sis, also, I was told by a holistic health doctor that when you have heavy periods, it's because your body is lacking vitamin A. And
magnesium.
Magnesium. Okay, so you might be lacking vitamin A and vitamin A and magnesium. I also want to know, sis, is why is it that when you dwell, or like when you're connected with different women, all of you begin to cycle, the same way? It's kind of like with my mother and my aunties and my cousins. Well, no longer my mom. She's 64 and she's done. But like with my auntie and my cousins and my close girlfriends, we all come on around the same time every month. If I connect with another group of sisters, then we're all cycling, we all come, our menstrual cycles wind up becoming like it becomes synchronized. So can you explain why is that so?
So from what I have gathered thus far about why we all start to cycle around the same time, and I noticed one sister might start on the 21st, then I'll end up starting on the 23rd, and then the next sister start on 25th. And it's like we just go in this whole week in a row, and everybody running around there using the pad. So what I've understood it to be, a lot has to do with the energy of women and us coming together, and the magnetism that we pull from the universe in within the cycle period. Because I know I might start on the first one week, and if I get around another sister long enough, we'll start around the same time, which she might start on the 14th. Depending on which sister is more alpha in the household, that's usually what everybody will follow that one. If you just check that out next time, like, which cycle you guys are following. But as sisters, we deal in, our body deals on cycles. Our body deals in cycles, moon cycles, seasons. Excuse me?
No, I said definitely, sis. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So seasons and cycles are like what we do. That's feminine energy. Seasons and cycles. You know, so when we come together, that's just the combination that we have as women. Another thing, when we come together, because we have seasons and cycles, when women are together, we heal. When we get together, we end up healing in ways that are just phenomenal and not necessarily probably even putting in a whole lot of effort, especially if we're on a higher vibration, if we already like on a healing level, like personally in our own personal development. If we gather with other sisters that are also on a healing level and personal development, you will heal more expediently. And you'll get through a whole lot more. That's just our group, the thing we got going on as women. It's a blessing all day, every day.
I have to say, yeah, like even with the sweat lodges and the sister sweats and stuff like that, just being in that energy, you know what I mean? Because we're able to relate. And at times it gets so deep where you could actually feel your sister's pain. You know what I'm saying? And it's very energetic. And like, you know, one of my questions was, again, just going to the ancestral and, you know, why it's important to be able to recognize those things, because, you know, even a lot of men who are dealing with us, I don't think they really have a good perception on just how deep this is, because a lot of them are quick to say pseudo this, pseudo that. But it's like, you have to take into consideration a lot of indigenous tribes knew the sacredness and that there is an energetic womb. Like, we even learned this, like, we're this physical body, but we also have an auric body, a spiritual body, an energetic body, an emotional body. And so just like you have a physical womb, you have an auric, a spirit, an emotional womb too. So if you don't mind touching a bit on that, like how this affects that and how it could play over to in your life and in relationships.
Well, we all, even those, my sisters who have had hysterectomies, you know, a lot of them come to me and be like, well, why do I have to do womb work? They took my womb. And I say, because the energy of your womb is still there. And if they was to get an x-ray, they would see the aura of the womb. Even though the physical womb is removed, you would see the aura of her womb. Because everything is energetic. We are on different planes in different bodies of consciousness simultaneously. So our physical isn't present does not mean that our energetic is not present. So even though she may not have a physical womb, I still prefer in reference and suggest that she does womb work, because there's still issues there. And that's part of the reason that the physical part isn't there anymore, because of the issues. So even though they took the physical part doesn't mean that the issue is actually gone. The source of the issue is still in the energetic body. Right.
So another question I saw, and by the way, y'all have some good questions in the chat. I'm really proud of y'all for being in tune. But one question was, how soon is too soon for sex? And before you answer that, just knowing, like, my experience and stuff again through this walk in sacred sex is knowing that, you know, there's this thing called a womb imprint. When, like, the first, you know, couple of men that they leave an imprint there, and that's what allows you to attract that same kind of energy. So there's a lot of women to this day who did not remove that womb imprint and aren't understanding why they're attracting these same kinds of men. And it's like, well, are you even clearing from those imprints that was set prior to? So what's your experience in that, or solutions?
Sex, spiritual, energetic exchange. Energy are one. So whoever you make contact with, especially on an intimate level of release, especially on an intimate level of releasing orgasmic energy together, you have bonded on that energetic level. There's no such thing as casual sex. There isn't. You know, and that's why so many of us run around here schizophrenic now, because we got all these different energetic bodies any different issues with the people that we've connected with sexually. We have not removed them and cleansed that. Hair cutting. There needs to be some spiritual bathing. There needs to be some deep breathing. There needs to be some binaural beats, chakra work done. Lots of chakra work.
Man.
Done. Okay? Yoni steaming. Womb clearing. Yeah, you got to get in there. And I was just talking to a sister last night who came and got a womb clearing because she is wanting to connect with her twin flame. So she came and got her womb clearing done. And we're going to have to do a few more because, you know, we've done some things. We betrayed ourselves on many levels, ignorant.
I'm coming for my session. Just throwing that out there.
Because you overdue. You supposed to been here last 2 months.
Okay. All right. I know. I've been running, but I'm coming.
And that's what we do. We run because it's like we got all this other thing. Look, you better put your womb, start putting her first, especially with you being on this manifestation piece. You really gonna open up, you know. But that's what we do, you know. So she came last night. She got her womb clearing, and it's so important because we're not just clearing bodies of those that we've connected with. Okay, we are also womb clearing from what you said earlier, Riziki, ancestral trauma. Mothers, trauma is in our womb, including our own trauma. This is deep, and that's why those things they call generational curses, that's how they keep getting passed through. They keep getting passed through because of the womb. It's imprinted in the womb. So this is why this work is so important, and I don't take it lightly at all. Because we are dealing, when I'm dealing with your womb, I'm dealing with your mother's womb, your grandmother's womb. Because when we come here, we have over 1 million ovaries. As an infant, we come here with 1 million ovaries. What do a baby, 6 pounds, 2 ounces, 20 inches, need what 1 million 1 million ovaries? Your mother's ovaries, your grandmother's ovaries, the first woman, that's her ovaries. All of those ovaries are inside of you from your lineage. And also your paternal mothers. So, you know, so we come here with their stuff. And that's why this healing work is so important. The womb work, the meditation, the deep breathing, the energetic clearing. All of this is so, so important. Even some of our magic, you know, is important. Tapping back in to the ancestors, and because most of us that are here right now, we are the vessels between the ancestors and the descendants.
That's true.
You know, a lot of people want to stay with the ancestors, but we got people coming after us, before us, that we need to be concerned about too. So we got to clear the way for them.
Wow.
You know, and you know, so the womb work is very, very deep. This is just, you know, people just look at it, oh, this just my vagina, this just my pussy, girl, it ain't nothing, I'm just gonna wash it and do it.
I mean, and it holds stuff. Like it holds stuff. You know? And like, because everything that manifests physically happens spiritually first. And I'm telling you, I done been through some clearing exercises, and you know, I ain't gonna put my business out there, but I have witnessed, like, you know, no, I'm talking about just from heavy breathing, stuff will come out of you.
Yes.
Like, oh my, like you, oh my God, where did that come from? And you not, bitch, we gonna keep it real. Let me say my word.
You are right.
Because
you are so right. I got
and I'm not gonna go ahead, sis. Let me stop. I have a sister
that's on, girl, we both trying to talk. I'm gonna be quiet. I have a sister that's on Sweet Yoni Tea right now, and she's doing a lot of sacred sexual work and stuff. And she hasn't necessarily done her womb clearing, and she knows this. And she told me, she said, sis, I don't know what you've done to this tea. It must be your energy or your aura or something you've done with this tea, because once I started drinking this tea, toxins started coming out my vagina. She said stuff just started flowing out.
Yeah.
So
I've been drinking my Sweet Yoni Tea. I know it helps me with my cramps. And you know,
yes,
when it says Sweet Yoni Tea,
I gotta get me. So is this on your website, sister? Yoni Tea. Sister Tracy.
Yes.
Is this on your website? Okay, cool.
Y'all
I definitely want
right now. Y'all order that some of that right now.
Want to order some. And
this is
helps with cramping.
This is how it looks.
Let me see it.
It's a loose tea, and I actually send you a free tea infuser.
Yeah.
So you could put the loose tea and you steep it in the first 3 or 4 days. You will definitely notice the difference. You will urinate more, so it's cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
Your stool will be a little looser. You're cleansing. It has raspberry leaf where it tones the womb and also increases the health. It has hibiscus helping with blood pressure, stimulating healthy pH. Also, it has fenugreek. And then it has Damiana ashwagandha, which are 2 very high herbal aphrodisiacs. And Damiana calms the system, gives you good mood. Then I have pineapple, kiwi, and cranberry. With the fenugreek, it helps you to taste good and smell sweet. So when honey want to go down and give you them kisses down low, you all good.
Let me ask you a question, sis. Let me ask you a question, Sister Tracy. So let me ask you a question. Is older normal? All right. And if it's not normal, what causes odor? And I know that sex can cause like odor, like when you have sex with different men or even one man, that can upset the pH balance in your womb, because men have like within their seminal fluid, they have a pH balance. And I believe, don't quote me on this, it's like 7 to 8 on the scale. And when we have a pH balance, it's about 3 to 4, 3 to 5.
3 to 4, 5, yep.
And then when we connect, their fluids will upset our pH balance, which will cause odor. But I know there are other things that cause, I know there are things other than sex that causes odor. So could you get into that a little bit? Like, what is vaginal odor? Why do we have it? Is it natural?
Well, I want to tell you, thank you for that, because you're absolutely right on the pH scales of the semen as well as the pH scale of the vagina. The vagina is 3.8 to 4.5, something like that, in between 3.8 and 5. And then the males, like you said, is I think 7 to 8, something within there. So yeah, you're absolutely right on the sacred science of that, because when they come together, it's a mixture, and one sometimes can be higher than the other. That's the normal pH we're talking about. That's supposed to be normal pH. We're not talking about the abnormal pH we got going on, which causes such as BV, such as yeast infections, and all of that has to do and is a result of mostly of our diets and stress. A lot of times people keep getting a reoccurring BV. They start eating right, they start changing soap, they stop using washcloths and all that, and they still notice a reoccurrence of BV. Well, that's a spiritual component to frustration and holding stuff in. So on a spiritual level, if you'll find that most women that keep having these reoccurrence of BV, VB, bacterial vaginosis, BV, that they are frustrated and they're holding on to stuff. Yeah. So, and then you have the urinary tract infection. We talked about that earlier. That is a straight up bacterial infection. And a lot of times that comes from your pH balance, your being too high, too much acid in your body. And it causes bacteria in your urine. And then you trying to flush the urine, of course, the bladder's trying to flush it out. And that's why you got all the burning and everything going on, because it's trying to get that bad bacteria out of there. But that definitely has to do with your pH being off. And women, you have to know the diet of your man. Okay? Exactly. You have to know his diet. You have to ask about his health. You know, These are the things I ask. I ask questions like, what do you like to eat? When's the last time you've been to the doctor? Do you have any health issues? You know, all of these things. Go ahead, Raziki.
I just want to say, because I have to leave early for another appointment. Thank you, Tracy, again for joining the show. Dr. Maya, we'll reconvene later. But and I'm out. Thank everybody for watching. And before you log off, Tracy, again, talk about the toxic semen and how that affects women too. But y'all are on a roll.
We're gonna get into that in a few minutes.
Yeah, we can ready to get it.
I was gonna segue right on into that.
All right, I'm out of here. Thank y'all.
All right.
Peace and blessings, sis. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. So you definitely want to ask questions with your, a man that you might be checking out, and you liking his vibe and everything, and he on a conscious tip, and you liking how he handling his business. He smell good. He look good. Okay, now let's go with the internal system.
All right.
Okay, we got the outer. The outer, cool. What you like internally? Diet like? Do you have any health issues?
Okay.
If you do, what are they? Those are things you want to ask. They might not be a game changer. They might not be where you be like, nah, I can't deal with the brother. Like I said last night to a sister, brothers are broken too. Sisters run around here, we doing all this work. We healing wounds, we doing this, we doing that. A lot of brothers, they don't have the same space to begin healing, and then they're taught that healing is feminine. That's some female stuff. So you got them, dealing with that. So what we have to do as women, when we connect with these brothers on this level, we have to deal with their health, because we are basically their first physician, because the kitchen is our laboratory. The kitchen is our laboratory. Spices, herbs, finding out what's going on with him, helping him to heal. So what we have to do as women, we have to create sacred space for them to heal as well. Now, toxic semen. We can be allergic to brothers.
Yes, sis. And I know you're getting ready to go in, but before you go in, let me show you something. All right. I want you to confirm with me. Let me click this. Let me click myself so that I'm on the screen. I want to show you something, sis. And I don't know whether you're going to be able to see my
okay, I'm looking
screen or not. But this is my screen, okay? And I think the first time that I had a talk with the sisters, I showed them this diagram of the male reproductive system. And I was telling the sisters, I said, well, when a man ejaculates, do you understand where all of this fluid comes from?
Right.
And I was showing them that with the seminal fluid, that it comes from, you have the seminal vesicle, right? You have fluids from the seminal vesicle. So the seminal vesicle contributes fluids to the semen. Then you have his pancreas. Where's the pancreas? Is it pancreas? Not the pancreas, the prostate.
The pancreas is right up in there. Then you got the prostate.
Yeah, the prostate. So the fluids come from the
seminal scrotum.
The scrotum, the prostate, and it's something else. Oh, your bulbourethral gland. The bulbourethral gland. So with that said, sis, I would say, you have to know what this brother is eating, because you don't know as soon as he ejaculates in you, how that's going to affect your body, because he has fluids that are coming from different glands and different parts of his body that are going into your body. So, and I would say that some of these brothers might be shooting toxic semen based on what they eat, their mindset. So sis, I'm glad that you're going into this, because I tell all the time, you need to be, careful and mindful of very selective of whom you allow to ejaculate in your womb, because he might shoot in you, and based on his diet and in the health of his semen, it may be toxic to your vagina. So definitely,
and then,
please elaborate.
Then you end up having infections. You're trying to figure out, thinking it's your vagina, and it's really the semen. It's the crossing of the fluids. And you trying to shake a yeast infection forever. You trying to shake BV forever. That's part of it. You keep coming with these different infections, of these different itches and these different odors. You'll know because of that odor. When it's toxic, you will know because of the odor and the way your vagina feels. Some women end up drying up. They can't even produce. They need in the lubrication to have sex, because that's your vagina and your womb's way of rejecting the semen. I have a few women get juicy. And they said they had no problem before. But, just scientifically speaking, it is a strong possibility it could be the release of the ejaculation fluid that is toxic. Where your vagina is shutting down. It doesn't want it. Our vaginas and our wombs are sensitive. And I like to say they have their own personalities, because they do. They will tell you if they don't like a soap. They will tell you if they don't like a certain kind of toilet paper. I know all them little fragrant soaps and all that shit. I can't use none of that down there, girl. Think about it, I start burning. I cannot use, all these florals, this and washes and sprays and all that. I can't do that. She has a language. She lets me know, mama, I don't like it.
Sister
Even
Tracy,
if I just think
Sister Tracy, a brother in the chat room, I don't know whether it's a brother or a sister, but someone in the chat room asked, what is a healthy ejaculation? So what is healthy semen? What does it look like? Someone just asked that.
Well, for one, okay, it would be kind of, as far as how it looks, for one, it shouldn't look like cottage cheese.
Mm-hmm. Or yellow.
Let's say that, because I've heard some brothers have semen that smells and is yellow.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a beige, off-white yellow. I'm talking about yellow and has a smell and cottage cheese. That is definitely an unhealthy semen. Mm. Healthy semen should be creamy. It should actually have like a little clarity to it and a little effervescence. Like it's just a little shine. A little shine should be there. Mm. And it should have a healthy smell of salt and oil. Mm. That's what semen it should smell like, a healthy salt and oil. And that should be a healthy semen without a strong, pungent odor. Yes.
Mm. So just like women have odors, when men ejaculate, they have odors too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They have odors as well. Theirs is just harder to mask because they don't have the opening like we do.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So theirs come out when they ejaculate or when they urinate or when they, pass in stools. You could kind of smell something foreign there.
So let me ask you another question, Sister Tracy. Should women douche? I mean, I'm like, some of these questions I'm asking you, I already know the answer, but I just want you to elaborate on something. Should women douche?
I don't think women should douche, and if they do, they shouldn't do it as they shouldn't go overboard. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, I will douche, and I yoni steam, and yoni steaming and douching is not the same thing. Please do not douche with these foreign products that you're getting from these stores, these Massengills, and these other products, this Summer's Eve and all that. Please do not douche with any of these because these are chemicals. They're chemicals with, we don't even know if it's water. We just know it's clear. Mm-hmm. You definitely need to pay attention to what it is you're going to douche with if you're going to douche. If you plan on douching, I would suggest once a month, maybe after your cycle, okay? And I personally use aloe vera water and coconut water. Or rose water. That's what I use. And then I put, I'll do the alkaline water and I'll split it with the rose water and the little aloe vera water. That's how I do it because I want to keep the moisture and the aloe vera is going to keep her moist. Okay. So you don't want to be excessive when it comes to douching. All that I got to douche every week. All that I got to douche twice a month and all that. No, what you're doing is you are ripping yourself of your good bacteria that is in there in the flora in order to fight any foreign bacteria that could be coming in or coming upon you.
What about feminine wipes,
so
Sister
you
Tracy?
Don't want to wash that away. You don't want to wash that away.
What about feminine wipes, Sister Tracy? Should women?
Well,
we have feminine wipes on the market, and I'm just wondering, should we use feminine wipes?
Okay, we finna get to this right now. No feminine wipes on no market, no douches, no feminine sprays, no feminine powders, no talc powder, Johnson & Johnson. I don't understand why we're trying to use powder down there anyway. It's supposed to be juicy. It's supposed to be wet. What the hell you drying it up for? It's supposed to be juicy. That's what it is. A juice box. It's supposed to be wet.
So, sis, let me ask you this. What about in the summertime? You get a little sweaty down there and you might want to put a little bit of
Get your little cornstarch, put it between your legs and stuff. Don't be putting it over there on sugar. Let sugar be moist. Just don't wear no panties. Let it be free.
Oh, sis,
Sugar got to be free. All them panties keeping her closed up, and you sisters wearing panties to bed. What is you wearing panties to bed for? For what? Who is there? And if you're laying next to your man, you really shouldn't have no damn panties on. Them should be off. Going to bed with bras and panties on, just tightening everything up. For what? Let it be free. Let her breathe. And it's supposed to be wet, ladies. It is. Now, if you get a little too juicy, you know, every now and then you might need to just wash her up a little bit with a little warm water. All the soaps and all that, stop it. And all this odor thing, look, you're trying to cover and mask up your natural scent. Why are you using all these sprays? Stop using all these sprays, these powders, and all this, trying to cover up and mask this scent. We got rain. We got lavender fresh. We got patchouli this. And we got jasmine. Look, pussy's supposed to smell like pussy. It ain't supposed to smell like flowers and stuff. It's supposed to smell like earth in your own natural scent. Earth and musk. If you have an odor that is foul and smelling like fish, snapper, trout, and all that, you need to change your diet. And you need to get the sugar out your life, the processed foods, and the breads. That's what causes stink.
So let me ask you a question, sis. And I don't know if you've been following some of these lecturers who are out here. There's this claim, and I've been battling with a lot of sisters who actually believe this. There's this claim going around that women can produce babies without men, that we have the ability to manufacture sperm. Now, can you kind of, what are your thoughts on that? Again, I'm totally against that. I mean, that's my stance on that.
It's called parthogenesis. Me and Dr. Delbert Blair, we round around on that one too. And he actually has a book about parthogenesis. Now, the woman does not necessarily create sperm. That up. That is not how she's able to co-create without a male. Exactly. And this was done in ancient times with the goddesses. Okay? This was a practice where blood and bone marrow, okay, the secretion would come from bone marrow, and it would attach to the woman's ovaries, and there would be a child born without a male counterpart.
So it's all about myths. That's a myth. So it was a myth. It was mythology then. It was nothing that actually.
We don't necessarily have proof other than the story of Jesus, and that's the only one I've ever heard of.
Exactly.
And where there's no sexual activity. You know, I personally believe there has to be sexual activity. There has to be a female and a male in order to make that component happen. You know, but it is said that the women of that time, ancient times, were able to do this, and it wasn't something that was very popular. Like, everybody couldn't do it. It wasn't that she created sperm. It was something in her bone marrow that duplicated itself. And this is what the study is. And this, if you want to go get Dr. Delbert Blair's book over at the Chicago Meta Center, you can do that, where he discusses it really in detail. But me, with the science that, you know, I've been on with a man and a woman and female and male energy, and it having to coincide and connect as the output and the input, and that whole electromagnetic thing coming together, I would think that you need. So that's why for me, the whole, you know, Virgin Mary piece kind of got me a little, you know, like, you know, I don't know. We ain't gonna get into that part. That's a whole nother show. But
no doubt. So sis, I want to ask you, as women, what food should we stay away from? I know you gave a list a while ago. You mentioned bread. You mentioned sugar. So what other sorts of meats, or what other sorts of food should we stay away from to maintain our pH balance? What other foods do you?
You know, meat is basically an acid food. You know, it creates acid in the body. But I do suggest, if those who choose to be meat eaters, that you know your source of where your meat is coming from. You know, don't just go into this regular old store just getting this meat, because this meat is filled with hormones. You know, they're not vegetarian fed, and it's just a big thing with that. Me and my husband, we are still meat eaters, but we're gradually weaning ourselves off. Like, we might eat meat twice a week, if that, and it's chicken and fish. And I'm not saying that there's an excuse, because it's not, because meat is meat. But the way that I'm looking at this, and what me and my husband been discussing, it's like, well, if we need to eat more fruits and vegetables, and especially more raw foods in our diet, have more raw foods in our diet, then that actually is the electricity. It brings up the vibration and the frequency of the body. It brings a healthier state of blood to circulate through the body, healthier states of iron, minerals, you know, vitamins, and all of that. So you're getting all of that through these live foods, or these vegetables, and these fruit. If animals go to and eat vegetables and fruits, makes sense why we just don't go to the source.
Exactly.
Why we just don't go to vegetables and fruits? Why are we stopping at the animal to get our nutrients and proteins and minerals when we got the plants, which they eat? You know, it's like we, you know, somewhere in there it's a little. So me and my husband have been discussing that, and that's definitely one of the things we are going to be implementing and disciplining ourselves coming up in this new year. But for reproductive health, mm-hmm. we definitely need to remove, once again, the sugars. Mm-hmm. Okay, so white refined sugar. If you must do sweeteners, pure agave, pure raw honey. You know, to get those pure raws. Sodas. Please eliminate the sodas. Ladies, sodas and sugar are the enemies to the vagina. They give them an odor faster than anything. I have a few ladies that are addicted to sodas, and their urine as well as their vagina smell like ammonia. Mm. And they're having a hard time because they're addicted to the sodas. That will definitely cause an odor because it throws your pH off. Okay. Processed foods, rices, white rice, breads, white bread, all that. Enemy of the vagina, enemy of the body, you know, but really enemies of the reproductive system. Okay. You want to release smoking. You know, you want to release a high alcohol intake. Mm-hmm. You want to release iodized salt intake. Off the reproductive system. They kill off the semen count. They kill off the ability for you to procreate as a woman and to give your vital fluid to have all of the beneficial substance that it needs to create health for not just you, but for your mate. Because remember, in the beginning, we seen that reflexology chart. In order to create a healthier reproductive system for both of you, for the sexual healing of sacred sexuality, you have to be conscious and aware of what you're intaking as far as eating.
Okay.
A high marijuana user, marijuana, okay, I understand we like the herbal smell and all that, and you know, raising the vibration. Okay, I get that. But you don't want to do too much of that either. You just kind of want to, you know, chill and get the real herbs, you know, and put them in your foods, spices and things of that nature.
So since earlier today, I had mentioned to you that my holistic health doctor told me that when we as women have heavy menstrual cycles, it's because our bodies may be lacking vitamin A or magnesium. How can you discern between the two? Like, how do you know what you're lacking? Like, how do I know that, okay, maybe I need to take vitamin A, magnesium, or both? How can I make that judgment?
Mm-hmm. Well, vitamin A, I know when you're usually vitamin A deficient, you get headaches. I know that many people that have the vitamin A deficiency get headaches. Many people that have magnesium deficiencies get tired. Okay. So those are things you kind of want to look at. You know, if you're constantly getting headaches, you may have a vitamin A deficiency. If you're constantly tired all the time, you definitely may have a magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is very important and very vital to women's reproductive health. Magnesium is to the woman what zinc is to men.
Okay.
Okay. Brothers need to take zinc to keep that sexual chi, that fire, and that spark in their sperm and their semen. especially if you're releasing a lot and you're not doing any semen retention. You're not holding back on ejaculation, and you're constantly ejaculation while in the sacred act of lovemaking. You need to come up on your zinc levels. I give my husband Korean ginseng, zinc, and all the B complex vitamins. He'll do the sea moss. So I want to keep him, healthy in that area, not just for, most importantly for his reproductive health and for his semen retention, and helping him to replenish his chi, helping him to replenish his spirit fire, his energetic fire, because each time you ejaculate, you releasing part of your life source.
Yeah, you are.
Women, life source. We gain. We be all vibrant and brother be all, yeah. So we gain life source.
So
they release life source.
So let me ask you this, sis. Earlier today we touched on vaginosis, and we talked about vaginosis, and we also talked about like yeast infections. And you were saying that it's a disruption in your pH balance, and that's why you're discharging a lot. What do you do to get rid of that? Like a woman that has a yeast infection right now who may be watching this broadcast, what does she need to do to get rid of that? And I'm assuming that you're going to say to stay away from monostat, because a lot of women will go with the 1 a day, 3 day, 7 day monostats to hurry up and get rid of the yeast infection or whatever. What can we do naturally to get rid of like yeast infections and vaginosis?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because we will run out and go get that monostat, go get that 1 day insert suppository and all that, and this 1 day pill and stuff. It is full of chemicals that kill your reproductive health. Just tell you that, yes, the yeast infection may go away, only for a while. Because the first thing you need to tap into is, once again, your diet. Lots of yeast in your body. You may be eating too much wheat, okay, too much rice. So you want to definitely check out how much wheat and how much rice and much bread you are intaking. It's things that have starches in them that we don't necessarily even know about that we are eating, such as different processed foods. Everything that is processed here in this way of eating, this Western way of eating, is binded through starch. Accumulating yeast all the time with this diet and don't even realize it. Okay, so I suggest that you don't go get the monostat, that you get you some castor oil, olive oil, neem oil, and tea tree oil. Okay. Definitely check on your diet, because remember, your intake is very important. You got to know what you're internalizing in your body. So you would definitely want to release anything that has to do with starches, sugars. You want to release that. And you want to take this oil and you want to do take your little bottle and you want to do half castor, half olive oil. You want to put you 4 drops of neem, 4 drops of tea tree. Now I'm just talking about like a little 4 ounce. Okay, a little 4 ounce bottle, nothing more. So you definitely want to put that in there. When you do that, you want to take that after you have cleansed your vagina, and remember, do not use a washcloth. Use your hand. You might want to use some African black soap. You might, use a soap that is pretty much natural, castor oil soap, something of that. Okay, so you want to wash your vagina. We say you take your bath, your shower, or whatever. You want to take that oil and you want to rub that all around your vulva, your labia. You want to take it, you want to insert it also into your vagina. Put your little cotton panty liner on, free of chemicals and all that. Put your little panty liner on, and you want to go ahead and use that for a few days. And I guarantee you, it will clear up.
Okay, so hold up, sis, because you were breaking up a little bit. You said you take a 4 ounce bottle. You said half castor oil and half, what was the other one?
Castor oil.
Half castor oil, and then what else?
Neem oil and tea tree oil. Neem and tea tree. Neem, castor oil is an actual oil that helps to rid yourself of toxins. So you definitely want to get castor oil. Olive oil is a healing oil. And it also it's really good for lubrication as well. Then the neem is known as an antibacterial oil. And then you have the tea tree, also known as an antibacterial oil. Neem is more antibacterial. I actually clean with neem and things of that nature. So you want to put those two oils in combination with the oil. And you just want to make your little bottle, about 4 ounces, you know, not much. And make sure you put you like 4 or 5 drops of each in there. And you rub the area. And you do that like 3 times a day.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this, sis.
That's a more holistic and healthier way than using the monostat. But definitely your diet. Check out your diet. Get rid of the sodas. Drink lots of water.
Okay. So let me ask
you, the body.
Are tampons healthy?
Well.
Or is it healthy to use tampons?
Okay. Well, you know, some people there's a big debate on that now. I don't want to say if they're not healthy or if they are healthy. Me personally, I like to flow naturally. If you are going to use a tampon, I would suggest you use the organic, toxic, chemical-free by is it Generation 7? And then they have some other ones. But yeah, I would definitely suggest if you're going to use tampons, to use the ones that don't have the pesticides and the herbicides and all the other stuff that's in them. They have cancer-causing agents, bleach, you know, in these other tampons such as Tampax and Kotex and all that. They have these. So you definitely want to go to the health food store or Whole Foods or something and get you some organic tampons. Now, personally, I feel like the blood should just flow. I don't feel like it should just be staying in there and staying up there, you know, just kind of for hours. Like the flow is for a reason. You know, there's a reason that it needs to come out. So I personally use the toxic-free, chemical-free pads.
Excellent.
I can't really say one way or another if it's healthy or not. I'm just going by what my body feels like. But if you are going to use them, please use the chemical-free, non-toxic.
Okay. Sis, let me ask you 2 more questions and then we're going to wrap up. Someone in the chat room, Brother Jehudi Mayat, asked, is there any clothing women should stay away from? And then Sister Mariah Kelly asks, can you intake castor oil by mouth and ingest it?
Well, that's one of the school remedies of the elders, baby. Y'all don't remember taking that nasty ass castor oil every Sunday? You had to line up. You had to line up and take it, and then it make you go to the bathroom. Yes, castor oil can be taken by mouth, and you will release your bowels. It will help to cleanse you. Castor oil is a great a detoxer. It is awesome. I actually use it to do womb stimulations when I'm doing sacred touch on the women's wombs, and I use it as far as a clay pack with my clay to put over women's wombs when we're drawing out toxins. So yes, you can take castor oil by mouth. You just need to be by a toilet within about an hour.
Okay, so that concoction that you spoke of today, where you take 4 drops of those different types of oils, instead of rubbing it on our vulva or in the problem area, can we take it by mouth?
No.
You said no?
You can, but it's you need to go exactly to where the contact is.
Okay.
You need to go exactly to where the contact is. Yes.
Okay, and my last question is there any clothing that women should stay away from? Like, I know that dyed underwear can cause like yeast infections and stuff like that. So can you elaborate on that? Someone asked.
Dyes and things like nylon, when you have the nylon on and you have that juice going on and sweat, many of us sweat down there, that causes bacteria to fester. You know, and if you have that on too long, you know, because sometimes we like to wear them little silky panties. Make sure they have that cotton part to them, you know, or you definitely want to make sure that the cotton is white. That's another thing, yes. You know, making sure the cotton's white. But then you also want to not wear panties. Cut it out. There's some days I just, you know, I like to walk around I don't like to have panties on. I like her to air out. You know, if panties are not always necessary. We've gotten into this thing with thinking panties are necessary. Panties aren't necessary. Yeah.
All right. Well, fantastic, Sister Tracy. Let me go back here and click on this. I'm trying to see if any other brothers have any more questions. Brother Jehudi Mayat just said, nice. Sister Mariah Kelly said, thank you. Sunflower Child asks, can you ingest black castor oil?
Well, yes. Really, the black seed oil is the best. If you're going to ingest it, you want to get that black seed oil.
Okay.
Make sure the black castor oil is food grade, because they have some that's just hair grade.
Okay. Okay. And another sister, I believe the same sister Sunflower Child, said she doesn't know how, she doesn't understand why rice is considered. She said, I don't understand how rice is processed. I mean, I do, but it is not in a different state or from, I'm not quite sure what the sister meant by that. I don't, sister, if you're there, could you give me some clarity on your questions so that I can ask Sister Tracy? Trying to understand, you're saying you don't understand why rice is considered processed? I'm waiting for her to answer.
Yeah.
And also, Sister Mariah Carey just asked, how can she keep in touch with us? Sis, in every video, we provide links to all of our Facebook pages and websites. Sister Tracy, could you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me at Tracy Bryant Swint, TRACEY BRYANT-Swint, SWINT on Facebook. You can also find me on my public page, The Honey Diva. And then also we have a radio show on Tuesday evenings called Honey Soul Radio. We have a great lineup for 2017. We actually had the honor of doing Dr. Deborah Blair before he transitioned. We've had Ross Ben, Dr. Akua. We've had Queen Afua, Wayne Chandler. We've just had many master teachers on, Dr. Muwada Ashby. So you definitely want to check us out on Tuesday evenings. The show will start up again on January 3rd, 2017. That's honeysoulradio.com. You can check me out, my womb health and healing and education on the womb and yoni steaming at sensualhoneywellness.com. sensualhoneywellness.com. Also, we have a page that inspires Black love and relationships and increases spice to the boudoir. That's honeyloveromance.com. And then my husband, who is a gemstone jeweler, he deals directly with gemstones and the healing of gemstones, and he creates beautiful jewelry. And that's at ancientworldgemstone.com. And you can find him at Ancient World Gemstone Jewelry on Facebook. So yeah, we also have Facebook pages, Sensual Honey Feminine Wellness. I have a school, online school, Love My Womb Academy, where you can learn the sacred art of yoni steaming and womb care and sensual and sexual vitality in education. And then I also do on location classes, which yoni steaming for self-care and womb health. And I also do yoni steaming practitioners training. For those who want to take this yoni steaming and health and wellness to the next level, we have certification courses as well. My number is 337-49131. If you'd like to email me, sensualhoneywellness@gmail.com.
And sis, when we hang up or when we stop, the broadcast, please inbox me. I know that you and I have been communicating a whole lot through Facebook, but just inbox me all of your links and your telephone number so that in the description of this video, I could just add it down to the bottom, like in the description box of the video, so that people could just click it on and be routed right to you. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Well, first of all, before I thank the people who tuned in, Sister Tracy, I would like to thank you, my sister, for taking time to come on this show. I know that it was last minute, sis, but you came through for us. So I definitely appreciate you taking the time out to come and enlighten us on the womb. As I stated in the beginning of this broadcast, a lot of women don't understand. They don't really have a profound understanding of what they have between their legs. Again, just to reiterate on some things we talked about, most women only utilize or know of to use their womb for bathroom purposes, menstruation, sex, and having babies. Outside of that, they have no clue of the interworking. Yes, ma'am. So they have no clue of the interworkings of the vagina. So I thank you. I know that you gave a lot of good information. Sister Raziki, she's not here, but she gave a lot of good information, you know, on the womb. And I'm glad that we touched on like the do's and the don'ts regarding clothing and foods. I'm happy we highlighted toxic semen. A lot of women don't understand. We get vaginosis or bacterial, yeast infections and different things because we have these guys that are coming into us, giving us these, toxic semen, which is upsetting the pH balance in our womb. So I'm glad that we were able to touch on that as well. So in closing, I would just like to tell the sisters who are watching this broadcast, I want to remind them of this. And I actually put this on Facebook a long time ago, so I'm gonna read it verbatim. I want them to know that you are the gatekeeper of this reality. In order for any entity to exist in this realm as a human being, it has to come through your womb. So do you know what takes place in your womb? Two life potential, sperm and egg, meet and develop into a human being. This being enters the world, our reality, once you bring him or her forth through your womb. So in essence, the womb makes potentiality become a reality. So the womb is the word made flesh. It is God manifested. So this is the gift of being a woman. So we must protect our wombs, keep it clean, and only give it to a man, not a male, who has shown himself to be honorable. So with that, I like to say peace and power.